Welcome to part 6 of how I would book the WWF versus WCW Invasion storyline. We've just covered Unforgiven, with winners being the Dudley Boys, Christian Chronic, Rob Van Dam, then Tommy Dreamer, then Rob Van Dam, then Jeff Hardy, and there's Chris Jericho, Rhino, and Kurt Angle for various titles. Now the road is paved towards No Mercy. October, No Mercy. Things go off, with the WWF, with Chris Jericho and Kurt Angle walking side by side, one with the WWF title, one with the WCW World titles. Jeff Hardy coming in right behind them with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy has had on again, off again at this point, with holding the European Championship belt. Jeff and Matt Hardy, their respective championship belts, walking out, chatting, going, you know what, we're the winners, Now things start getting a bit heated. WCW hates the fact that they lost the two big titles. Also, X-Pac walks in with the plethora of champions as well, holding both the WCW Cruiserweight and the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship belts, walking. Things arise with WCW guys ambushing X-Pac for, WCW Cruiserweight guys attacking X-Pac, which deunifies the Light Heavyweight and the WCW WCW Cruiserweight and the WWF Light Heavyweight titles. Then you got Lance Storm and the Hurricane somehow or other defeating Chronic for the WCW Tag Team titles. In a episode of Tuesday night SmackDown, and Tuesday night Nitro, sorry, and Friday Night Thunder is like the WCW B. The egg shows up the day after WWF's Raw show and main show, and Thunder is Friday after Thursday Night SmackDown. Things are heating up. Billy Kidman wins the WCW Cruiserweight Championship belt back in a tournament. The Light Heavyweight Championship belt has been won back by Tajiri, or won by Tajiri in a similar tournament. Sorry, using something to scratch my thigh. Now, as I said, we're not only headed, but we're actually in No Mercy 2001 at this stage. The stage has been set. The show opens up with Billy Kidman, WCW versus Scotty Too Hotty from the WWF for the WCW Light Cruiserweight title. Then you got Tajiri from the WWF versus the Hurricane. Not versus the Hurricane, versus Elix Skipper, a guy who just came, one of the lower card guys from WCW. Kidman defeats Scotty Too Hotty. Tajiri defeats Elix Skipper for their respective companies' light heavyweight or cruiserweight titles at No Mercy. Excuse me. Then, in the fourth match of the night, you have the Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt. Jeff still with his hardcore title. Matt was still with his European title. To face Lance Storm and the Hurricane, who are the WCW champions, and how I would have booked it at the time. WWF European Championship on the line. WWF Hardcore title on the line. WCW Tag Team titles on the line. Winner takes all. Hardcore Tag Team match. Due to the lack of communication between Hurricane and Lance Storm, and the strong unity between Jeff and Matt, Lance Storm and the Hurricane loses the WCW Tag Team Championships belts to Jeff and Matt Hardy. Then later on in the card, after you've seen, like, there's a bit of a promo, Tori Wilson slaps Stacy Keibler in the face, revealing underneath her shirt a WWF a sports bra type thing, and then both of them have a match after Tori defected. That's the fourth match of the night. The fifth match I'd have just put in there Edge versus Christian again for the WWF Intercontinental title. This time Edge winning a ladder match. But since, let's see, in the seventh match, the Dudleys versus Big Show and Tajiri, since Billy Gunn had been dealt with, Tajiri jumps in thinking he can walk away from the night with 2 belts. This is for the WWF Tag Team titles. Wasn't exactly with the energy to keep going. It ended up being Big Show versus the Dudley Boys for the WWF Tag Team titles. Big Show couldn't contest it. 3D, boom, 1, 2, 3. The Dudleys still hold on to the WWF Tag Team titles. Then it's a rematch. Chris Jericho versus Booker T for the WCW title. And Booker T winning the WCW title back from Chris Jericho. And the same thing happens in the triple threat match with Kurt Angle, the champion, versus Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rob Van Dam. Which doesn't exactly sit well with a lot of people. With a lot of WWF crowd. Then things start to heat up. Vince and Shane walks down to the ring and says, "You know what? We're going to finish it next month at the Survivor Series." Now, at Rebellion, Christian defeats Matt Hardy for the WWF European Championship belt. And Rob Van Dam sucker punches his way through and defeats Jeff Hardy for the WWF Hardcore Championship belt, which means more gold to WCW. Then there's a lot of grooming going on. With different people jumping ship to one or WCW guys going to WWF. The WWF guys going to WCW. all culminating in this. The battle lines are drawn. Kurt Angle leading Team WWF, which has Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, and Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Versus Team WCW, led by WWF champion, led by WCW champion Booker T, with Rob Van Dam, DDP, Steve Austin, WWF champion, and Shane McMahon himself. The battle lines are drawn. These two teams for the main event. Then it was the women who wanted the title. Shane said, "You know what? If my guys win, if my team wins, we'll have the WCW Women's title." But Vince does the same thing with the WWF. It'll be the WWF Women's Championship belt. A big news goes on. Title unifications are on the line. Billy Gunn versus Tajiri. Not Billy Gunn. Billy Kim versus Tajiri. Winner for the unified light heavyweight or cruiserweight title. Edge versus Test. Somehow or other. Oh yeah, Edge loses to Test, who jump ship from WWF to WCW for the Intercontinental title. A few weeks of Raw, a few Raws prior. Ronnie got a bit too cocky. Challenged Edge for the WCW United States Championship. Edge defeats him for the WCW United States title. Which everything leads ever so smoothly down to the Survivor Series itself. We have Al Snow versus Christian for the European title. Regal versus Tajiri in a singles match. After Regal jumping ship to WCW. Edge versus Test to unify the United States and Intercontinental titles. The Dudleys versus the Hardys to unify the tag team titles. Prior to this, Battle Royale to see who's going to be immune from being fired. Open to all the roster, open to up to both locker rooms. Then it was a vacant women's championship match with all the women in a battle royale. Then Team WWF versus Team WCW. Here we go. Christian defeats the challenger Al Snow. William Regal, Billy Kidman loses to Tajiri. In other words, again unifying the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship belt and the WCW Cruiserweight title. Followed by Edge beating Test for unification of the both belts. The Dudleys in a steel cage match, defeating the Hardy Boys to unify both belts. The Immunity Battle Royale, since Test lost his match, he participated in the Battle Royale, which he came out victorious. Trish Stratus won the vacant, like a generic vacant women's championship Battle Royale. And firstly, from Team WWF to lose, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. The same thing with Shane McMahon from Team WCW. Both owners are out of the way. DDP, Diamond Cutters, Kane, who himself gets line salted from Chris Jericho, both of them pinning each other. 1, 2, and 3. DDP and Kane are both out. Undertaker gives a last ride to Rob Van Dam. Pins him 1, 2, and 3. Gets up. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes in. Stuns the Undertaker. 1, 2, and 3. Kurt Angle flies in. Angle slams Stone Cold Steve Austin and gets him back into the ankle lock, having Austin tap out. Booker T comes in, smacks Kurt Angle in the face, up and down with a bookend, 1, 2, and 3, leaving Chris Jericho and Booker T. Captain and Captain. Booker T gets his finisher off. Jericho kicks out. Jericho does his finisher, but Booker T rolls it, somehow or other gets out of it. They're down to the last breath. Only to have Can You Smell What the Rock Is Cooking playing in the back plays. Both of them turn their heads, thinking, what is the Rock doing here? He wasn't here through this. Then no Rock. And you hear, boom, time to play the game. Triple H's music comes on. They look up and go, well, now it's Triple H. Why wasn't he during the whole thing? Then you have Chris Benoit. Look up. Chris wasn't around here for this time. Why is he coming? Different music comes in from WCW guys like Goldberg, Flair, Rick and Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, the NWO, WWF music comes on, D-Generation X, Shawn Michaels, the New Age Outlaw music theme song comes on. And they've been in for this whole war. Why are they doing it? When one or the other gets a bit more up and over from the previous guy. But then, when both of them are crazily sore, crazily out of it, Steve Austin bolts down to the ring. Flies a bird to Booker T, stuns him, rolls out of the ring. Chris Jericho lion salts him. The referee counts at 1, 2, 3. That's it. The war is over. WWF won. But there is also another way where Rob Van Dam comes back, Van Daminates Chris Jericho, and Booker T pins him for the 1, 2, 3. There are two different outcomes for the winner. I will be leaning towards more Booker T beating Chris Jericho in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, and 3. The last two men Kurt Angle still employed, WWF guy still employed, WCW wins. But then, at the end of but yeah, in closing off the whole thing, I would say that Stephanie comes back, both Shane and Stephanie split the company right down the center, leading to a joint, and they can get rid of the WWF and have World Wrestling Entertainment, have Shane running one segment of the WWE, Stephanie running the other. Well, that's been my thoughts on the whole Invasion storyline, and yeah, see you again. Peace.